Now, before we even get into welcome back to In Between the Lines, go fucking blue.
Ah, that was such a beautiful win, an ugly win, but I'll take it. I don't care that it was against Ohio State. Michigan has not been, what we expected them to be, but did they pull it all together at the last game of the season, man? Man, they beat Michigan State and Ohio State. What more can you ask for in the season like they had, right? I mean,
Jeff, I didn't watch the game.
what?
I didn't watch the game. Remember, I told you my girls had scrimmages this weekend, so I wasn't going to watch it.
Oh,
And I was actually not disappointed because I thought we were going to get stomped. But
you missed a treat.
so I mean, I'm friends with a bunch of the parents of the girls, and so they were all watching it, and so they were kind
Right.
of keeping me up to date. But just just to just to let you know, like how confident I was they were going to lose. It was about 12-10. We were getting ready to start our first game, and my buddy Greg had said Ohio State's already scored twice. I believed him. I believed him. I thought they probably
Oh,
have.
wow.
He was just joking, and they hadn't even started the game yet. But I had figured it out throughout. I mean, I was paying attention to it, and it was like, oh, Michigan's up 7-3. Oh, they're up 10-3. And then it was, I think, 10-10. And then I was in my third game. I knew it was a close game. But all of a sudden, I heard somebody going crazy in the stands. And I look up, and it's my buddy Brian. He's looking, he was like, and he's like, they just won. And I'm over here. I literally, my words were as I'm standing there next to the girls during the game. I said, "Shut the fuck up," and and they all looked up at me, and I was like, Michigan just won, and they all went crazy too. The girls did, and then it's
Right.
funny because as I'm sitting there getting excited, and we're all cheering. All of a sudden, I hear my assistant coach still calling plays out because we're in the middle of the game. But it was wild. It was wild.
And I think we only had like 66, 68 yards of passing.
Yeah. Yeah. It was wild. I
Um,
mean, and turnovers. I mean, I watched the review of it. Um, it didn't look like either one of those teams wanted to win. I mean, I saw all the missed opportunities that Michigan had, but then Ohio State had missed opportunities too. And somebody told me they thought that Chip Kelly and Ryan Day kind of got caught up in the stat of, whoever wins the rushing battle wins the game. That they were trying to just rush and win the rushing battle rather than passing, because if they would have passed on us, they would have been all right. But from what I saw, they couldn't stop Mason Graham or Kenny Grant. They couldn't stop them. They had nobody
right.
for them.
Michigan, the way Michigan ran the ball, you would have thought it was last year's team.
Yeah.
I mean, they was just running the ball down their throat. Mullins had a great game.
Saw that?
You know, Donovan Edwards came in a few times. I mean, he did okay. I don't know what's up with him,
Yeah.
but Mullins was the man. You know, the quarterback he threw a big interception, man, in the end zone. I
In the
mean,
end
it should
zone.
have been a
Yeah.
touchdown, man. And I was
Yeah.
just like, oh man, but it was just, I mean, you could just see the way the game was going. Going into halftime. Even at halftime, I was like, okay, Ohio State probably gonna come out a different team.
Yeah.
I was still like, oh man, this is because it was just so close, and you know the way the third quarter was going, I'm like, man, Michigan can win this game.
Yeah.
Michigan
Yeah.
can win this game, but it was still something in me, like in the back of my mind. I'm like, man, Ohio State about to if they whoever gets the big play
Yeah.
is going to win, and nobody could come with the big play. And I'm just like, man, this is going down to the wire, man. This is crazy, man. So we got the last field goal. And like you said, Ohio State had missed opportunities. They was missing field goals and throwing
Yeah.
interceptions. When they threw the interception, I'm like, oh man, man, it was just a great game. It was a great game. Ohio State really didn't I mean, they still in the college playoff. I mean, they really didn't lose anything,
Yeah,
but bragging rights in a sense, But
right. But
man,
that's a big deal for them though. I mean, they constructed that roster. They paid all that money to
they
beat
say it's
Michigan.
supposed to be the most talented team in NCAA. Period. I was like,
Right.
oh wow, I didn't know that. I thought it
Yeah.
was Oregon or somebody, but they say
I
Ohio State has the highest roster and the
you know
most talent.
if Ohio State doesn't win the national championship, I think they fire Ryan Day. I mean, I would not have been surprised if they didn't fire him on Monday.
Wow.
I mean,
And
he can go.
and let them coach through the playoff or
Yeah, I really thought they were going to fire him on Monday. They were going to say, Chip Kelly, you're the interim coach, but he's got to go. I mean, I really thought that was going to happen, and then I thought he was going to be the next head coach of the Chicago Bears.
no, 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 no. Hey, hey, I was just as excited when we fired Eberflus as you was about Michigan beating Ohio State.
Yeah, I saw
I,
your video.
oh man, yeah, yeah, yeah. I sent that to you to post it on Shorts too.
Yep, yep, I did, I did. It was funny because it was like that very next day. This girl that I know, she immediately sent me a message. She's like, "Who is your buddy Jeff? How did you meet him?" And she was like, "He is so funny."
Oh wow.
Yep.
I was so excited, man. I like literally before I had to build up the energy again for the video because I just happened to look up because I was in the kitchen, cooking, and I just turned around and in real time it just came up like breaking news, and I just felt it. I said, "This is the Bears. This is the Bears. This is the Bears. This is the Bears." Fire Matt Eberflus,
Yeah.
man, and it was classic because they let him do the press conference
Yeah.
the next day, and then 2 hours later he was fired. I was like, "Oh,
See ya.
what a way to go out!" Man, I was excited, man. I said, "Oh man, this is a beautiful thing," So I'm glad he kicking rocks. Of course, Thomas Brown is interim coach. This dude went from passing coordinator to offensive coordinator to head coach in a month.
Yeah. That's
So,
wild. That's wild.
and
Hey,
now
what?
all of the talks. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
All of the talks now about who the next head coach gonna be, they giving Brown this opportunity. But now I'm seeing reports that we could possibly trade for Kyle Shanahan or Sean McVay. It's all
Yep.
over. I'm like, man, where's these reports coming from?
Yeah, I haven't seen that. All I keep seeing is Ben Johnson, and then I heard some rumblings about the Notre Dame head coach. Was it Freeman or something like that?
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's
That's the
nah,
only ones I've seen.
nah. This
Hmm.
is this will be. I have. This is the first time I think they are going to get it right with the coach since Lovey.
Yeah.
I think they gonna pull something special off this go round. Like I said, all of the coaches I wanted before are gone. Of course,
Right.
Harbaugh, old boy in Denver, man, Denver head coach, Sean Payton, Washington's head coach. I wanted him too, and Cliff Kingsbury, and they let all of them go for Matt Eberflus.
I did hear some talk too of the Oregon head coach for the Bears too. Somebody was posting that as well. But there's going to be speculation about all sorts of people until it happens.
We'll see.
Yeah. One of the
We
things I
sh-
was going to ask you back on that Michigan game is, so what are your thoughts and opinions on what happened after the game?
I don't mind it. I mean, you talking about we talking about 19, 20, 21-year-old kids, that's been criticized. I'm gonna use the word criticized all season. Michigan has been under fire all season for their offensive play or whatever. Coming off of a national championship, and you pull off the biggest upset, of the season. There's no rivalry bigger than Michigan and Ohio State. And you go to their stadium and you keep them in check and you win. Your emotions is flying, man. I would have planted the flag too.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about the coach, though. I don't know how I feel about the coach taunting the fans. I could see that from the players, but I know Moore was pumped up because they didn't have they had a bad season, man. To Michigan standards, that was a bad season, and to bounce back and the way you did and finish over 500, make a bowl game, beat Ohio State.
Yeah,
that was big. I'm not faulting the players at all for what they did. Ohio State, they in their feelings, they pussies was hurting, so hey, they could have acted a little better than what they did, man. So just leave the field.
That was the most fight they put up the whole day.
The whole game, yeah.
So
you just lost. Leave the field.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings on it. Like I said, I mean, I heard a lot of people say, Texas planted their flag on Michigan Stadium. Somebody else did too. And we didn't do anything about it. I mean, like I said, there's that whole argument. If you don't want them to do it, then beat them. There's that argument. I think it comes more down to, I think it's something that the NCAA should do. I think the NCAA should just say, that ain't allowed. If it do, your people are getting suspended and big fines. And I think that would prevent all that, because I get it. I mean, I would be fine if Ohio State tried to do that and Michigan went over there and started fighting with them. I get that the players are emotional, but like I said, if you want to stop a big melee or a potential fight from happening, just don't allow that kind of thing to happen.
Yeah, and I mean I've heard different spreads. I've heard different spreads for what the game was. I didn't pay attention to it. Normally I do, but I've heard Ohio State were 23-point favorites, 19-point favorites. I don't know if it was because it was shifting as it got closer to the game, but
when the game started, it was 20.5.
20.5. Okay.
20.5. Yep.
Yeah, so you 20.5-point favorite, and you could tell whenever Ohio State did make a good play or something, they was going crazy.
Yeah,
the players and stuff, and I'm just like, oh yeah, they really want this game.
Well, they said it might, but they said it might be the biggest upset in the rivalry.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. They were talking about like a game back in like 1969 with Bo Schembechler there, where that might have been one, but even that one was at home. You know what I mean? To do it on the road against, when you're a 20.5-point underdog, and like you just said, one of our worst teams offensively probably is our worst team against what, like as you had indicated, best talent in college football history. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
And it's the biggest rivalry, so I get it.
All of the games that I can think of between Michigan and Ohio State, all the way back to, Terry Glenn and Eddie. It was never. I don't remember where Ohio State was this good. Well, we just said it, and Michigan is this bad, and Michigan beat them. Think about the Rich Rodriguez days.
Yeah,
Michigan wasn't competing with Ohio State like that.
No.
It took Jim Harbaugh a while to get to that status,
right?
To even get there. This is bad. This looks very bad on Ohio State.
Yeah, it
Very
does.
bad.
It does.
Brian Day in particular, you
Yeah.
know. But you ain't getting no complaints over here. I'm happy as a pig and shit.
Yeah. None of my Ohio State fans have contacted me this week. It's weird. Haven't heard from
Nah.
any of them.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, though, I mean, if I'm an Ohio State fan, yeah, that burn that's a uppercut. But hey, y'all still in the playoff, man.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
think they can beat Tennessee? Or I'm
Yeah.
sorry, do you think Tennessee can beat Ohio State? I should say.
I do. I think all those teams can beat each other. I mean,
Okay.
I think it's just going to come down. My question: so, are they neutral sites or are they home games or how does that
No,
work?
these are home games.
So the higher seed gets the home team home. Is it like that through the whole thing or to the last two or what?
I think until the championship game, if I'm not
Mm,
mistaken.
yeah.
Yeah. So
What do you think about Alabama being in there with 3 losses?
you know, Alabama. I'm not surprised. You know they're gonna find a way to get Alabama in there. They just gonna find a way. I mean,
Yeah.
the thing that saved Alabama were the big wins that they had. You know,
Yeah.
against Georgia. Uh, was it Tennessee? And
Yeah.
it was one more. It was they put it up. It was they had three big wins, and I think they had and the three big losses. But the
Yeah.
wins
Good
were
wins.
huge. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the only team that I'm hearing any talks about over them was Miami, and like I said, I agree. Miami's got some bad losses on there too, so I get it. It's funny though. I was reading something today that was talking about how they had said that the expanding it to the 12 teams would open things up and get some new teams involved in there. And then they kind of brought out that no, actually, this year the 12 teams is what's allowing those same teams to be in it still.
Yeah. It's kind of like because I used to get irritated because Tom Izzo has some bad years in Michigan State.
Mm-hmm.
And they still found a way to put them in the tournament, and they shouldn't
Right.
have been in there.
Right.
You know, and man, that used to irritate my soul, man. And they doing the same thing with Alabama.
You know.
You know, so two different sports. I get it, but it's, they had 2 seasons I can think of for sure. They didn't deserve to go to the tournament, man, and they still put them in there. And that was
Yeah.
just strictly off of reputation and time is all.
Yeah.
But but Nick Saban is not in Alabama no more. So
Nope.
I don't know, man. Unless he still got his hand in there somewhere.
I don't know. He seems to be enjoying himself on ESPN Game Day.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, man. Go Blue, go Bears. Lions, y'all got a big game tonight. Green
Just
Bay.
here in about 20 minutes, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a tough
Yeah.
one. I'm worried about this one. The injuries, man. The injuries are crazy. The injuries are absolutely insane.
Yeah, man. Y'all got well, I think y'all had a few injuries on Thanksgiving Day, right?
Yeah.
More than a few.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was
We've
shocked
lost-
to see Montgomery out there because y'all remember you telling me he had a shoulder injury.
Yeah,
But
no,
he-
he came and
he-
played well. But I think so. Like I know tonight, DJ Reader's out, Pascal's out. So those are tough. I think Carlton Davis might be back, but yeah, it's tough.
That just shows how I don't know if it's a reflection of the talent that you guys have or a reflection of good coaching.
Yeah.
Because any other team that's had this many injuries, I mean, you can tell like right away. You know, you losing, that we lost this person over here so that we can run the ball right at them on this side, or
Right.
I mean, y'all lost Ian Hutchinson, y'all best defensive player, in my opinion.
Oh, for sure.
And y'all ain't missed a beat at all.
They said the Lions have 16 players, defensive players, that have been on IR this year.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, it is.
So I know you guys are. It's a great possibility that you're going to lose Ben Johnson. Is it talks about you guys losing a defensive coordinator too?
Yep. They're both in high demand.
Okay. One thing I don't know if probably a little hate on my side, but I think a little truth too. I think this can come back and bite you guys. Is that sometimes y'all get a little too aggressive? Like y'all get a little disrespectful though with your aggression. Mm-hmm. Like when you played on Thanksgiving Day, when y'all gave the ball to the lineman, if the play didn't work, but I'm like, damn man, are you serious? Like y'all don't show no respect. Like a lineman giving him the ball for him to throw it down the field. I'm like, man, they asking for it.
Yeah, that brings up one of the funniest stats all year. So that was Penei Sewell. Penei Sewell has not allowed a sack all year, but because of that play, he has been sacked once.
Oh wow!
Isn't that wild?
I don't know where y'all get these stats from, but dang, yeah, that's crazy.
When he got it, I was like, "Oh my god, is that Sewell?" And then I was like, "Is he gonna throw the ball?" I mean, he was definitely looking downfield to throw the ball.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
But they've had him line up. They don't try to. They've had him line up as receiver. He's received a hook and ladder this year. I mean, yeah, he's a freak. He's a freak. Mm-hmm. But that's still, I agree. That's disrespectful.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think. I mean, everybody got trick plays here and there, but a play like that, I wouldn't do that in the playoffs.
No, they will. They will. They'll do something crazy in the playoffs.
We know they're going to do a trick play, but don't get the ball to a lineman for him to throw it down the field.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. And it was funny because if you actually saw the other camera angle, the guy actually had a step. It would have took a good pass. I mean, it's not a pass that I think a lineman should be making, but like Jared Goff throwing back there, that would have been an open receiver. You know what I mean? But
right.
It was just like when they showed it from that back angle, I was like, oh, yeah, the guy had a step for a second. But, yeah, that's wild. That's wildness.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, we should have won that game. Yeah. We should have won that game. I didn't think it was going to be that close, honestly, but
it reminded me of when we played Tampa Bay. We were moving the ball, especially in the first half, but we were getting either empty possessions in the red zone or field goals. Like I said, I think we missed a field goal, which he has not missed all year. We had two other possessions where they had to get field goals, even though they were inside the 10. And then we had that play to Gibbs where he fumbled it inside the 5. So it was like, it shouldn't have actually even been that close. But like I said, I've told you all year, I know that the Bears have a good defense. So it was one of those, when we got it inside the red zone and didn't get touchdowns, I was like, ugh, that could hurt because they have a good defense. But to only come out and score 3 in the second half was tough. But like I said, I love your coach, though. I love Eberflus. I love what he did there.
Well, you can't say you're coaching anymore. That's a wrap.
He'll always be your coach, bud. He'll always be your coach.
Oh, man. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a coach that clueless
Yeah. Because
on
did you
what's
hear his
going
after
on.
game talk? He said we ran it the way
Yeah,
we wanted to run it, and it was like,
yeah,
what?
yeah.
Wait, what?
I like what we did there. That's what
Yeah,
he says. I like what we did there. I like the position we're in. You know, it just didn't work out in our favor the way we want to. I'm like, man, this guy, man, this is.
yeah, that was so ridiculous, so ridiculous. I mean,
I
you
mean,
forced
every
yourself to basically have to throw a Hail Mary. Basically, that's what he forced himself to do. Instead of calling a timeout, it was only third down. I mean, yeah, it was. Yeah, I just don't even. I don't even get how you
yeah
can have that
time
those
on the
words come out of
clock.
your mouth.
Yeah, time on the clock. A timeout. You can always spike the ball. I mean, there's so many things we could have did.
Hmm.
And I was just like, oh my God, this guy. Even when he went for two, you know, people was getting on me saying I was being too hard on him. I said, why is he going for two? It was still like 12 minutes on the clock in the fourth quarter. I'm like, man, we don't have to go for two right now. Kick the extra point. So if we would have kicked the extra point, we could have won the game with the field goal versus trying to tie it up. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I just, man, it was, I mean, this guy, he just wasn't being held accountable, you know, in my opinion. But, you know, they took care of it. They waited too long to fire him. They really did. I heard they wanted to fire him sooner, but McCaskey's was like, no. And then after this travesty,
Yeah.
they was
Yeah.
just, it was no way they could defend it. This is our
Yeah.
first time firing a coach in the middle of the season in Bears history.
Yeah. You do that after several questionable things, but you do that then on national TV. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a perfect time to do it because we got the, you know, what they call the little mini bye after playing on Thursday. You know, you got some time to, you know, to incorporate some plays and, you know, get the team coached up.
Right.
So we got San Francisco this week at San Francisco, which should be a winnable game for us. McCaffrey went out again for the season. My fantasy player, by the way. That's a whole other conversation.
No,
But
that's Amy's guy too. Amy's guy too.
yeah, so I like McCaffrey though, man. I think he an all out beast. But
I'm hearing rumors he might be done.
wow,
Yeah.
yeah. And I don't know why it's talks that they about to break everything up in San Francisco, and Shanahan might be leaving too.
Yeah.
So you know, that's an opportunity. But let's just say hypothetically, and I know I'm reaching here, but let's just say the Bears went out. Thomas Brown does a good job. You know, everybody liked the way the offense is looking under this guy. Do you think we still take the chance on getting a McVay or a Shanahan?
It's funny that you just asked me that because that's what I was going to ask you. Was do you think that they would keep him? Because to me, I feel like you probably don't want them to keep him, do you?
The only reason why that with the same scenario, we went out, you know, they look good, and the only reason I would say no is because the other guys I just mentioned are proven coaches.
Right.
You know you can win with those guys. You know you're
Right.
going, you know, you're pretty much going to be a playoff team. You know, so that's the only reason I would say no. But I just, if the rumors are true on Shanahan, I think I would do it, man.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. I was wondering that because I know you'd been talking all year, calling for Eberflus's head, and one of the things you were talking about was just They always hire these either first year people or somebody that hasn't
Yeah.
been proven, and so
Yep.
that was my initial thought was, oh, this guy wins a couple of games, do they keep him? And Jeff gonna go crazy.
Oh, and we still got the whole division left.
Yeah,
You know.
it's. I mean, you got you. There's a lot of ifs going on right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It would be tough for them to win the rest of their games against with that schedule. But
Yeah.
if they did, that would be pretty impressive by him. But
Absolutely.
as my dad always said, though, "If is a big word. If your aunt had nuts, she'd be your uncle." So
Yeah. 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 Well, we'll see. And I mean, we
yep.
got to go to Minnesota and go to Green Bay. And,
Hmm.
I mean, you guys come to us, but, it's not easy to win in Green Bay and Minnesota. And then we got to go to San Francisco. And I think Seattle comes to us. So those are our last 5 games.
Yeah, that's a tough 5 game stretch.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I said I was reaching. Just, trying to.
Yeah.
But I've never seen this many coaches get fired in season.
Yeah.
Offensive coordinator. And then we lost our defensive coordinator last year to some legal stuff. I mean, this guy's whole coaching staff is just
Right.
horrendous. So I think I think they may clean house though.
Yeah. It'd be the smart thing to do. Get a whole new coaching staff. I mean, you've got your franchise quarterback, you would think, and so go ahead and get him started off with a new group and
Yeah.
somebody solidified. And I get it. I hope they make the wrong choice.
Oh yeah, of course. Of course you do. Of course you do. Of course you do. But you guys got it right what Campbell though. I mean, you
Yeah.
really did.
It started slow though. It started slow. I mean, he came out talking all that crazy stuff, and then, I mean, they didn't. Yeah, but it took them a while to start winning some games though.
Yeah.
But then once they did, they've kept it. So
Sometimes it just take a little time to buy into a system. And
right.
he sold it and they bought it and
Yeah. You had a really good week in picks last week.
Really?
Yeah, you went 7-1.
Yee. Now,
Yeah.
which one did I lose? The Bears? No, I picked the Lions.
You picked the Lions this week. Yeah. No,
I
you
did.
lost.
I did.
Um, you picked Baltimore to beat Philadelphia.
Yeah, I think that was the one I said if you pick one, I'll go the other way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh no. I picked Baltimore to beat Philadelphia. You lost. You picked Arizona to beat Minnesota.
Damn.
Yeah, that's the only one you lost. I picked Baltimore, and
Okay.
you
Yeah,
went the
well,
other way.
you made that statement.
Yeah,
Whichever one you would pick. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Whichever
Because
one you
that
pick,
was a
I'll go
tough
the
one.
other way. Yeah.
Yeah. So you went 7-1. I went 6-2. So yeah, that really helped you out. So you are now 45-38. So well back above. I am 52-21.
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah, that was a good week for you.
Okay. Well, since we on that, let me go ahead and pull up this week's
Okay.
games. I'm going to go with It's hard to go against the Lions right now, man. I'm gonna pick the Lions
Same.
to win tonight. Bears 49ers.
I'm actually going to go Bears on that one.
Okay, you know where I'm going. I'm gonna go Bears too. Let me see. Falcons Vikings. I'm gonna go Vikings.
Yeah, me too.
Let me see. It's really not really nothing great this week. Chargers Chiefs.
I'm going to go Chargers.
You picking the Chargers to go to the Chiefs, and
I am.
you know what? Man, that's tough. I'm gonna pick the Chargers too. Seahawks, Cardinals.
I'm going to go Seattle.
Man, this should be a pick 'em. I'm gonna go Cardinals. Okay. Anything else stand out to you? Anything else look interesting?
Not really. God, these aren't very good games this week, are they?
Cowboys, Bengals. It's a Monday night, so we gotta pick that one.
Yeah, I'm going to go Cincinnati on that one.
Ah, man, I am too. That's what I was thinking.
We can't have all same pick. Oh, we got one difference. Okay. We got one difference.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. No, you know what? The Steelers and Browns, that's gonna be a good game. Even though the Browns are 3-9, Jameis Winston is playing some good ball. You see, he threw for, was it 497 yards last week?
Did he? Yeah.
And the Steelers lost to them earlier this year, right?
They did.
I'm gonna still pick the Steelers though.
I'm going to pick Cleveland.
Okay.
I do think
right.
the Steelers are going to win, though. I'm just doing that to do it.
Okay. All right. Well, there it is. Oh, real quick. Do you think that was a bad play on Trevor Lawrence? Did you see that hit?
I thought it was a horrible play on Trevor Lawrence. They just suspended him for 3 games. Did you see that?
Yeah. And
That
it's
was
going to
nasty.
stick.
That was nasty. And I'm glad to see
Yeah.
the players got up and fought with him, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because if they didn't, then that's another team issue. But no, they.
And I don't know if you've seen it, but when he got that concussion, he kind of curled up like Tua did.
Did
like
he
his
really?
arm kind of stretched out, and I was like, oh man.
It was nasty.
And they put him out. He's done for the season now because I guess he already had a bad shoulder.
Really?
Yeah. They put him on IR just for the concussion alone. It's only 5 games left.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
so
they're not doing anything, so.
They're not going to the play. Yeah,
No.
he's done.
Wow. That's wild. Because, you know, it's crazy because if you remember, at the beginning of the year, they were actually talking about them as a playoff team. When they turned out to be one of the worst teams in the NFL.
Yeah. Yeah, it's you know what, that happens every year in the NFL.
It
There's
does.
always a team that's done really well, and the next season they fall completely off.
Yeah.
And then there's a team that there's a surprise team every year.
Yeah. Yeah, there's been a couple teams that really fell off too. I mean, some of it though. I mean, like I said, with Jacksonville, the fall off has just been kind of weird. It hasn't been like with San Francisco. San Francisco's obviously fallen off, but they've been so decimated by injuries, so you understand it. But yeah, Jacksonville hasn't had an injury bug. They just have been bad from the beginning.
Yeah,
Like I said, San Francisco actually started somewhat decent at the beginning of the year, and then the injuries just start piling up. But
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. McCaffrey hasn't played all season. What, he played the last 3 games, I think,
Yeah, 2 or 3.
if that. Yeah, and then he's out again. So
Yeah. Yeah. He hasn't done much. Yeah. It is weird.
all right, bro. Anything else? I know we got the game that's on now. They just kicked off.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Nope, I have nothing further then. Go Lions.
Yeah. Yeah, go Lions, man. I can't. I know it's a rival. I will never pull for Green Bay to beat anybody. I
know
don't
you
care
won't.
who they playing ever. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's it for us tonight. We had a lot to talk about, a lot to dive into. Again, continue to watch us, continue to support us, continue to share, continue to like, comment, subscribe. You know, hit that notification bell on YouTube. Do it all. Do all of the above. I'm not sure how much longer we're going to go after the. Are we still going to go after football season?
Oh, absolutely. I'm a
Okay.
basketball guy. I'm a basketball guy.
Okay.
So,
Well, there you have it. So we got a lot more coming at you guys. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. We got a lot
right.
of fun
heck
ahead.
yeah. Go Lions. We'll see you next week.
All right, bro.
See ya.